Cool. Shepard Fairey, how are you?
I'm great.
It's an absolute honor to finally meet you. I've been a fan of your work for so long. Obsessed with Exit Through the Gift Shop. You were fantastic in that. You looked fabulous.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a great film. I was lucky to be part of it.
Now, let me ask you this. Because you DJ.
Yes.
You do amazing art. There's so many things that you do. How do you put concentration into each one of those things so each thing gets your love?
Well, I don't sleep a lot. That helps. I'm enthusiastic about so many things. I'm inspired by so many things that I just can't help myself but to take on a lot of projects and to, really just dive into a lot of things. But, art is my number one thing. And the great thing about art is it doesn't just come with the picture. There's so many other aspects, how I collaborate or socialize with other artists, how I use the art to have an opinion, a social message, and how it can be used for activism. So, if you look at who I am, my personality is pretty much, on display through my art and then the things that it's used for.
Did you ever think for a minute that you and your message and your art would become such a phenomenon? Did you ever for a minute think that you would change how people look at art and you would be legendary?
No, I didn't. I think that one thing that's helped me is that I always approached what I do very humbly from a sort of skateboarding and punk rock do-it-yourself background, being resourceful and just living in the moment and doing things that feel right for whatever the context is. And luckily, the cumulative effect of that has been that I've been able to achieve some things I'm really proud of. But I think if that had been my ambition in a really big way, it might have paralyzed me because it might have seemed too unattainable. So small steps.
So from walls to a bottle, this is pretty cool. How did this all come to be? And you must be so proud that people are now going to drink out of your art.
Well, I've been a fan of Hennessy through hip-hop luminaries like Snoop Dogg, Nas, Kanye West, Dr. Dre, and Biggie.
Excuse me, I'm going to let you finish. Sorry, it's my cognac. High five.
Nice. And it's a great product. I learned more and more about it as I began to work with him. But I was a fan to start. I'm an even bigger fan now because the way that they have supported me as an artist and been really open to my ideas of how the collaboration could work have been amazing. And I enjoy drinking it. I can't drink while I work, but I love to celebrate with friends and have a drink when I've completed something I'm proud of. And when I'm out DJing, I like to have a drink. So Hennessy's a rewarding part of my social routine. What
to you means I have made it in sort of the pop culture world when I can go on a website and see my art being sold for thousands to hundreds of thousands to millions, or that I'm in a limited edition bottle? What truly means you've made it?
Well, all the things, that are symbols of what I've achieved, whether it's working with Hennessy, a brand with 250 years of history and prestige, that's great. But I actually think that as far as particular moments, being asked to be a guest character on The Simpsons was probably one of the biggest deals for me, bigger than being in the Smithsonian with the Obama portrait, because when I was poor and I worked 7 days a week, the only time I took off was on Sunday night. I took time off with my friends to watch The Simpsons and then go play a couple games of pool afterward. And so it's always an important thing symbolically for me as a bit of a respite from my Spartan labor. So and that's what it takes to make it as an artist.
It's so cool to finally meet you in this because you're so normal. I didn't know what to expect, and you're just a cool, chill guy.
Well, I think that my success has been so gradual. I've been doing this for 25 years, and I lived at the poverty level for a good chunk of that 25 years. That, to me, just being able to make art for a living is its own reward, and that should come with a good attitude, not a bad attitude.
Nice.
I'm very fortunate.
Let me ask you this, because you look around the city and you see things that like Banksy or Brainwash, other people have done. What is art now? What is art to you? And I was speaking with somebody earlier. For example, there's a story where this LA artist has put on a display of invisible art, and people are buying that up. What is art? Can anything be art? Invisible art?
Well, that's the great thing. Art it's very subjective. And, for years, graphic art, commercial art, things like fashion, album packaging, skateboard graphics, those weren't taken seriously as art, but those were things that were tremendously influential for me. So I'm very happy that things like street art are being acknowledged by galleries and museums. But to me, it's visual communication can take on so many different forms, and it's just being open to whatever moves you. I think you as the viewer are the one that categorizes it as art or not art, and very very few things will end up in art history books. But if things are able to insinuate themselves culturally, they might end up being documented somewhere or other, and that's I think that's got value.